million for this year, up to $4.9 million for next. Do you have any specific questions on any of the line items? Most of it is growth in payroll. We did have some areas where we did start to bump new equipment back up to its former levels. This year I'm looking at 2 motor graders again. I am saving a bit of money though because we are looking at rebuilding one of our Caterpillar 140 models. They have a program now where they take those down to the frame and then rebuild them with new machine warranty when they come out.
Wow.
And cost is roughly 2/3 of new.
So what kind of warranty do you get on that?
Yeah, 5-year, 5,000 an hour.
Wow, that's pretty good.
So I still have to get the proposal, but that again will be done after July 1. We'll be bidding our regular 1 motor grader and a dump truck here in late April as usual, so we haven't delivered before winter. But the other machine will be taken care of with just a quote for Caterpillar.
I'd move on item A, the budget.
I'd
Chairman be
second.
authorized to sign.
Second.
Discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
The construction program, just to hit the highlights, we have 14 projects that are bridges, a grading project and a paving project that are being funded with our $1.3 million capital projects levy over the next 5 years. From the original handout that we had during the public hearings, one of those bridges has changed. With the favorable bids we had on the 2 box culverts, and as we started to design the first bridge that was in the program, we found it could be a culvert as well. So we're gonna be able to do that this fiscal year yet. So we brought a new bridge in, 1 more new bridge into the program. And this is what we said we'd do with folks. We'd look at that $1.3 million a year. If it cost us less and we could fit new projects in, we would. So project B19 will be let sometime in April or May as soon as we get the Corps of Engineers permit. That's Bridge B19, which is on Lennox Avenue. We moved in a different bridge, which was, I think, C274. That's in the 5th year of the capital projects levy. That one's on Jewel Avenue. The other thing that's, as far as highlights in here, projects that are new, we have a multi-year project in the RISE project with the 260th Street pavement replacement, the turning lanes on Fort Neal Road, the 259th Street construction. We're not looking at spending that full $3 million in the first year. We're looking at a little over $2 million of that with $5 million to be spent in fiscal year 2015. So the paving was requested by CF Industries engineering staff that we wait until spring of 2015 for that to go through. We have 3 years of flexibility with the DOT spending that money, so we're able to. Slowing the timetable doesn't hurt our workload.
That's good.
And it also works better for CF Industries' goals. They'd rather not run a lot of construction traffic over a brand new pavement. And I guess we appreciate their consideration of that as well. Grading will still go through, the turning lanes will still be worked on this summer.
Move on B.
Second.
Discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Pavement markings.
Recommend award to Vogel Traffic Services for $57,726.27. They were the low bid.
I love it.
Second.
Discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
The final item we had, I showed as discussion. We can bring it back next week if you feel the need for a decision, but to me this was within our normal policy. You folks all remember Lawrence Reynolds with the drainage problems. He's had, he expressed that those problems were caused by work that was done on Buchanan Avenue. If you remember, Mid-American utilized farm field there where they took a significant amount of borrow for their ash dump coverage for their landfill that's right on their property. They restored the road when it was done, and for road purposes, they made it better than it was. You know, from our opinion, they complied with their permit. Mr. Reynolds was unhappy with the way the road was left. He had argued about a culvert being removed as part of the project. We have no record of the culvert. Our senior staff has no recollection of the culvert. The contractor says he didn't remove a culvert. Mr. Reynolds is the only one that recollected it being in place. That being said, though, initially they were looking at directing the drainage from their farmland on the west side of the road to a location that would be very close to where that culvert allegedly had been. When he was last in here, my recollection of the meeting was, in compliance with the Iowa drainage laws, we would have to place that crossroad culvert at such time as he had drainage arrangements to take his water over to the farmer's ditch. And that's where we left it with him as far as the expense that the county was going to take on for any drainage of his land, which I feel is the only liability that we have. Mr. Reynolds went to the farmer's drainage district. They were unable to condemn a drainage ditch across the neighbor's properties. Last I spoke with Mr. Reynolds, which was in November, I think of 2011, said in here, he was going to look at tiling and taking water down by the existing crossroad culvert that drains into a ditch that joins the farmers and goes under the railroad. Apparently sometime in 2012 there was a change of plan and he ditched along Buchanan Avenue. This work was done without permit and without any discussion with my department. Since I've gotten here, we've been much stricter on enforcing ditching within our right-of-ways. Typically, we go out and shoot it so that we're sure that ditches aren't overdug, we're not creating ponds alongside our roads, basically, and that everything drains. Mr. Reynolds' work in this case hasn't hurt us, although one driveway culvert will have to be relayed. It's sitting about a foot above the ditch bottom at this point in time. They placed another driveway in along the road. That driveway, site distance is adequate, everything's pretty flat down there. We would have approved it either way, but it does require it. He had a bill for about a little over $3,000, as I recall, $3,388. We have people who do private ditch cleaning along the edge of our roads. Our ditches on the roads are designed to drain the road. They're not necessarily there to take care of adjacent property. That's what our drainage is. It's a system as far as to drain the property. We've had Leo Yokin most recently did some ditching along Dallas Avenue to get down to a county lateral. The ditch didn't hurt us and enhanced his drainage. That was all paid for by Leo. Typically, I was just using him as an example, but typically they come in, we determine what the ditch fall should be, whether or not we can actually make the water run to the point at which landowners want to take it. And then we permit that process. Again, this was not done in this case, and even when it is done under our permit, it is the private property owner who's draining the water who pays for it, not the county. I guess long and short of it is, my recommendation is that we don't pay for this, we allow him to keep it as it is. I'll just decline the bill for the driveway, but we'll just go ahead and reset it when we're out there in the year. I know that they've been inconvenienced and they feel they're not getting their due attention, but again, I'm not looking to punish for not going through channels, but I want to send him a letter making him understand what it does happen, that it's not an exceptional case, that he's being treated as everybody else is when they're using one of our ditches to get down to the lateral. I'm not sure it's going to succeed at what his goal is anyway, but
Have you been corresponding with him?
my last correspondence with him was, the day I received his email, and I included that with your, information, basically, that I would discuss with the board.
And Mr. Renz is not present.
I don't think so.
You and I spent a lifetime out there on that road. Originally, he wanted the water to go west through another person's ground, which was not an option. And the thing I remember we discussed was if he could get permission from farmers, you would put in a tube.
Right. That was
the
my
end of that
conversation.
conversation.
I don't recall any of us guaranteeing we pay for ditching alongside of our road.
Go ahead and send water.
Thank you.
Do you need a motion or a consensus from the board to allow him to do that, or is that just?
I think I got the consensus.
Okay.
I wanna make sure that you guys were in the room with me, that there hasn't been anything guaranteed that I don't recall.
Oh, that's right.
All right.
Go ahead, yeah.
Thanks, Mark.
Thank you.
Next item is receive the Commission of Veterans Affairs quarterly report.
Move it.
Second.
Discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Gary?
Morning.
Morning.
Just have one item. Bronson Ambulance is requesting a loan from the EMS Loan Fund, the amount of $30,000 to purchase a used ambulance from, it's actually Lawton's old ambulance, to update theirs. The loan will be $30,000 paid back at zero interest over 5 years at $6,000 a year. Second.
Discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
With this loan, we've now helped purchase 32 vehicles, 1 Jaws of Life, 2 defibrillators, a paging system. We've made 36 loans to the tune of about $780,000 since 1988.
Investment.
We started with $165,000 and we just keep lending it out, so it's worked out pretty well.
Yeah, that's good.
Thank you.
Next item is discussion and action on department head meetings. This is something that was put in place by Mr. Johnson. Mark doesn't want to do that anymore, so my thought is, should the board do it as a whole on one Tuesday a month, one Tuesday every other month, do it at a board meeting, or immediately after the board meeting?
I like that idea. I think that probably Mark could speak to that, some value. I always enjoyed getting the minutes, nothing else, just a little bit of the summary of each of the departments. It looked like a lot of information sharing. But, you know, if we could all hear that, I think that might be a good format. I don't know about the frequency. You might have more thought on how frequent you think it should be, but I think it'd be a good idea to put it on the board agenda and just have 5-minute updates on what's going on.
I think there's a lot of value in it.
Well, if we're gonna have these, everybody needs to show up for them. And if you can't show up as a department head, you need to designate somebody else to be here.
Well, it's department head and elected officials.
Well, that's what I mean, that if we're gonna have these, people need to show up for them.
I think they have
Well-
pretty good participation for it.
And maybe you don't need to hear from every department every month, I don't know. I mean, obviously, if you're on, you're on the schedule to give an update. I mean, I just don't know, some departments may not have something to share every month, I don't really know.
Dave's right, and it's a good idea for them to hear what's going on in other departments, so if they're not there, they can get that
That's
information.
true.
I did it for 8 years. The attendance was pretty good. Oh, no. I think it's time for somebody else to do it. Gee.
I know what that is.
Does that work?
That'll work.
We'll try it and we'll see how it
Yeah.
goes.
I move it. Do you need a motion?
That's the
Yes,
action.
that shows everybody on board.
Second.
Discussion. and see how it, works out.
Okay.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We're at the point where hearing of any individual or group who wish to make a presentation, anything from the board. Anybody out in the audience? Apparently not. We have a general relief appeal for CH.
Need a motion to go into executive session?
Are they here?
Would you like this held in open or closed session? Closed. Is there a motion?
Go ahead, George.
I move to go into executive session.
Call the roll.
Smith,
Aye.
Tripp, Waken,
Aye.
Dawson, Thompson.
Mm-hmm.